Hello, my name is Ilaria and I'm working as a scientific modeler at the Global Sustainability Institute of Anglia Ruskin University. Today, I will tell you a bit more about my job and how important is modeling in studying and understanding climate and climate change. The first question is about what? Modeling. Model is about a simplified representation of things or even idea that happens in the real world. Modeling is an attitude our brain developed across disciplines. Is, for instance, very common in arts too. This remind me about the famous painter Vincent van Gogh that used this box of colored yarn to put together two yarn, colored yarn in advance and see which could be the effects of this pairing in advance before to use real colors that were very expensive. So in this way, let's say he limited the cost of his idea of painting and in realize his operas, his paintings. Then we have model like this, a famous atomic model of matters. Uh, this is quite an old model, and the mathematics that is behind this model is no simple at all. But this representation, which is a simplified one of those mathematics, really help in understand all almost all the behavior of living and not living matter on the earth. So even a bit old, but it's still working very good in understanding how matter behaves. Then we have our set of models that scientists use in modeling climate and other complex systems. What is a complex system? A complex system is a system in which many variables are involved. You can imagine that climate is a complex system because it depends, for instance, from physical variables like sun ray intensities, which are very different if we are at the equator or at the pole. They are different if we are in the mountains or if we are close to the beach or to the rivers. And then we have the influences of forestation, deforestations, the contribution of human activities in urbanizations, agricultures, and greenhouse gases emissions. Uh, Human activities influences a lot our climate. This is why we are living the emergencies of climate change nowadays because we are acting on this variable called greenhouse gases, which is responsible for warming up the temperature of our atmosphere. It was so good to have a bit of these greenhouse gases at the beginning of the life on Earth because he provide the right temperature that give possibility to life to begin. But now they are a lot of in the atmosphere, and this is becoming a big dangerous for life on Earth because climate is warming up a lot. And so we have a huge model when we speak about complex system model that the one we use in modeling climate. They are based on past data, on present data. They take in account the influences of all these variables that are related together in a complex way. What is complex system? How can I measure this? I give you a simple example of a complex system. You have to think about those boats that we have on River Cam, the boat that are with 8 rower, 8 seat, and this is my representation of this boat on the river. Okay, we have 8 rowers here in a single boat which is a systemic approach, is complex because the same eight rowers, but um, organized in single boat, even linked together, they will end employing the same power in rowing. You can see that this system will go slower than this one. This system is called linear because the power of rowing is simple, obtaining, summing the contribution of each rowing rower in each boat. Instead, this boat that exploit the same rower power with this shape is more efficient. This boat will go faster than this one. Why is so important? This both represent the interconnection, complex interconnection of the power of this rowing in a way that give an higher performance to the rower. And this is an important representation because almost all the system, including climate, including um, living things, living system, our body too is complex system in which each part is connected to the other, but the result is not simply the sum of this contribution. It's something more. It's something more that um, gave a better performance to the system. This is what you have to put in mind when you look at climate modeling. Is a complex system modeling. And this complexity is even hard to be faced at the beginning. It is very important because give us the opportunities to take a look at what happened in the future in terms of scenarios. What is a scenarios? Our model can produce a scenarios. Playing with the variable, we have, let's say, the values of the variable in a certain moment, and we can change them in the system to see what happened to the system. Can those models predict the future? No, they can give scenarios. We can play with this variable and look if the temperature rise, if we increase the emission, and how much the temperature will increase, and then this will have consequences on ice melting, on air temperature, and they will have consequences on agriculture of a certain place or about forecast and the weather of other places. So the importance of a complex system give us scenarios, but the choice to uh, affect the future is in our end. So it is important to say that modeling is something about affect the future, not predict the future. So this is the main things that you have to keep in mind when you have to think of what the model do dealing with climate variables and how it is important. It's important to have an idea of what the future could be if we do some things um, rather than other things. The choice is always in our hands, and we have the possibility to go towards more sustainable behavior, more sustainable economy, respect our resource, try to not destroy this beautiful planet we have. And modeling climate can give a huge help in doing this. So hope this clarify a bit. Anyway, I'm here for future question in case. Bye bye.